Good evening, everyone. Welcome to today's session. Day 3 of the International Level Student Workshop on Data Science using Python, organized by BRAINOVISION Solutions India Private Limited in collaboration with AICTE. Hope all the students are having a great learning session. Now today, first and foremost, we'll have to be happy that we have a great guest who's gonna interact with us. His name is Satish Reddy Korsapati, with an extensive 16-year tenure in the IT industry. Satish Kumar Reddy Korsapati, co-founder of Gigaqual Corporation, is renowned for his unwavering dedication and innovative leadership. His profound expertise has been pivotal in propelling the company's growth and establishing it as a trusted leader in the IT domain. Committed to excellence, Satish excels in infrastructure architecture, boasting hands-on experience in designing robust IT frameworks. His adept understanding of Azure and various cloud platforms, coupled with mastery in middleware technologies, reflects a commitment to seamless integration and optimal solutions for diverse business needs. Eager for collaborative ventures, Satish sir embraces challenges that foster growth, enhances solutions, and promotes knowledge sharing. We are grateful to have him as a guest today. Satish sir, you can take over. Yeah, he's just joining us, guys. Please bear with us. Just a gentle reminder to all the students, you'll have to fill the feedback form once you're done with the class. Just a minute. Yeah, Satish sir is joining us, guys. There's a technical problem. So we just wanted to tell the students that we are offering technology trainings in our new office at Madhapur, Hyderabad. So we have courses on data science, AWS DevOps, Java full stack, and Python full stack. You can come here and learn all these technologies along with add-ons like aptitude classes and soft skills classes, GitHub and SQL, so that you would be more employable, because this is the need of the hour for all the students. That's what the companies are looking out for. We are just waiting for the guest to join us. Students, you'll have to practice whatever you're learning.
Ishwar
It's
sir,
important.
good evening. Sir, good evening, Ishwar sir.
Good evening, sir. Tell me, sir.
Manoj Kumar from Nishita College, Nizamabad, sir.
Hello, sir. Tell me, sir.
How are you, sir?
I'm great, sir.
Just,
Thank you.
sir, try to allow us that mic and video.
Sure, sir. There is a problem with some people are in between. The mic is turning on and the camera is turning on, so it was becoming a problem, and that's the reason we were restricting it. But we'll definitely consider that, sir.
Yeah, understood. Because on first day when photo session was there, so we were unable to on the video.
Sure, sir. Sure, sir. We'll consider
Right.
that, and we'll get it done as well. I'll pass the information to my technical team. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Satish, sir, I've introduced you already. You can take over the session.
Oh, thank you so much. Gabe. So good evening, ladies and gentlemen, team of BRAINOVISION and brilliant students and dedicated faculty members and our fellow participants. It's truly an honor to be here with you as a guest speaker at this remarkable moment. I said, my name is Satish Korsapati. I came to you with 16 plus years of diverse experience in the IT industry across different sectors such as manufacturing, finance, media, construction, and healthcare. My journey has been shaped by my work team player, lead manager, and delivery head in platform services, middleware technologies, services. Firstly, I want to express my gratitude to BRAINOVISION team for organizing this international student workshop, bringing together this along with hundreds of faculty members. This is a testament to the power of knowledge sharing and collaboration, especially in the dynamic field of data science. Yeah. And today's fast-paced world, data science has emerged as a game changer. Driving innovation and decision making across industries. Now focus to the interesting world of data science using Python. Python, with its simplicity and versatility, it has become a powerhouse in the world of data science. You should came to know that. Okay? It provides a user-friendly gateway for students like you who unlock a vast potential of data analysis, machine learning, and artificial intelligence. To the students, participating today, I want to emphasize the incredible opportunities awaiting for you guys. In our ever-evolving industries, the demand for skilled data scientists is growing. Or optimizing the manufacturing processes, your skills in data science can make a profound impact. Okay, so as you embark on this learning journey, I encourage you to stay curious, embrace challenges, and continuously seek growth. Okay, give an example. There was a student with us who noticed her favorite hero movie got flapped in news. She just saw in the newspaper. Okay, out of her curiosity, she decided to analyze why her favorite actor very recent movie got flapped. She explored the data. She grabbed the information from all the what is this book my show or other reviews through web, all the data. She explored that and identified the reasons and presented her finding to us. We are surprised, actually. That is actually, we didn't encourage, we didn't ask her to do such kind of project or the innovative thing. But she herself explored the options that they can leverage her skills and identified that. Resources are everywhere, guys. You just need to explore and engage in hands-on projects and build a strong foundation in Python for data science. In a conclusion, I want to commend each one of you for your commitment to learning and growth. The world of data science is vast, and your journey has just begun, okay? Embrace the opportunities, and remember, your skills have the potential to shape the future. Finally, thank you, a team of BRAINOVISION, for bringing us together, to the students, faculty, organizers. I wish you truly enriching and insightful workshop. May your curiosity lead you to new horizons, and may you find inspiration in every bit of knowledge you gain. Thank you, everyone. All the best. Good luck. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for the insightful words. We hope the students make good use of it. Thank you very much, sir. I now hand over the session to Vijay Kumar, sir. Vijay Kumar, sir, you can take.
Guys. Go ahead. Thank you.
Thank you, Sai, sir. Hi, guys. Good evening to everyone. Hope we had a wonderful session yesterday. Let's continue with that. Let me share the screen. Yeah. Yesterday, we discussed about what is data science, followed by what is the problem statement. Okay. Along with that, we discussed about what is feature engineering and various steps involved in feature engineering. Right. Any doubts in the concepts what we discussed yesterday? If no, then we can continue. So yesterday we discussed about we stopped discussing about this data set preparation, and we thought of continuing today. And one more thing that I reminded yesterday to revise, or if you know about those topics, to revise those concepts like you say NumPy, okay, and pandas, matplotlib, okay. These are the three libraries which are frequently used, and each module, okay, has its own importance. So what generally NumPy does and pandas and matplotlib. So we'll be having a quick overview of it, and later I'll be forwarding you this material to revise, okay, as a reference to recollect, which are very important for us to have a session tomorrow. Okay, so let me give you an overview of each. So what is basically NumPy? NumPy, if you say here as, it is a predefined module used to create and manipulate n-dimension array. It is a predefined module used to create and manipulate n-dimension array. It has a wide variety of functions used to perform operations like mathematical and logical operations, and we can also perform linear algebra. Okay, in that you can take one example as random number generation, and we can also perform some statistics on the values which we have taken in the form of an array. And we can also do scientific calculations. Okay, now very important point to note is that it is very fast because most of this module, or you can say 80% of this module, is done in C programming. Okay, and NumPy is used with the packages like SciPy, which is generally called as scientific Python, and also with matplotlib library. Okay, so using NumPy, we can create the following dimension arrays: one-dimensional, two-dimensional, and three-dimensional arrays. So one-dimensional array is generally called as a vector, two-dimensional array is generally called as matrix, and three-dimensional array is called as a tensor. Now, in order to define, or you can say create an array, we should import a module. Generally, it is called as NumPy. Now, how do we import? We generally import like import NumPy as NP, where NP indicates alias name of NumPy. It is the alternate name of it. Okay. Now, how do we create an array? Just I'm giving you an overview. This is the way we create an array. Now we are creating an array of one dimension, which has some values like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the data type of those values is int. Now, how do we access this? So simply to say, for x in A, print x, which prints all the values of this array. So as we said, we can create one-dimensional, two-dimensional, and three-dimensional arrays. So it is very simple to create using this module. And we can also define certain properties like what is its data type, what is its dimension, what is its shape, and size in terms of bytes and item size. This gives us total element size, whereas this one gives us only individual item size. So like this, it goes on. Now, how do we use this, or how do we study this? Once I send you this document, how to study this? We need to install a software called as Jupyter, which is integrated with Anaconda software. Okay, so whenever, when you say Anaconda, if you install Anaconda there, which will guide us to install Jupyter Notebook. So Jupyter Notebook is integrated with Jupyter Notebook is integrated with Python and n number of libraries. Okay, now in which we use a library called as NumPy. So let me quickly show you how to use Jupyter Notebook. For the rest of the sessions, we'll be using Jupyter Notebook. So let me give you a quick overview of it. So when you type Jupyter, I mean, like after installing Jupyter, when you type Jupyter Notebook, okay, and when you open it, this will be the screen for you. Okay, now in order to work on our programming, or you can say Python, we should create a new file. Yes or no? In order to create a new file, we'll be using new and Python kernel. Guys, we are getting some disturbance. If anyone is on unmute, please go to mute. Okay, the way I have created is what? New Python kernel. So whenever you click on it, a new window will be opened for you. Now, why we are using Jupyter? First of all, let us understand this. Now, when you write a program of 100 lines or 1000 lines, okay, let's consider we have written 100 lines. When we execute that, can we stop in the middle? When we start its execution, we cannot stop in the middle. Okay, that is one point. Another point is that, can we execute by selecting some set of lines of code? Can we do that? Suppose you have 100 lines, in that you want to execute only the 10 lines. Can we do that? No. So Jupyter gives us that flexibility of executing our code in blocks wise. Let me give you one example in this. So I want to create an NumPy array. Now I'm importing NumPy here. Now simply if you execute, NumPy is imported. Now in this complete document, we can simply use np instance to create arrays, to manipulate arrays, and etc. etc. Clear? Now let's create an array here. So I'm creating array in another block. Did you get my point? Whenever we execute this, NumPy object is created, and simply we are using that NP. That means what? In the current document, NP refers to all the blocks. Okay, wherever we use that NumPy. Now, if you see this, I'm selecting this block and executing it. So an array is created. Now, suppose if you want to print it, print A. See, this is the array created. Now we can study this array now. What is that study means? We are simply say describing that array. Now A dot D type gives us what is the data type of it. Like this, we'll take each and every line of code or couple of lines of code to execute. Whatever the block that we want, we can simply execute and see the output of it instead of executing all the lines of code. Okay, let me take one more is item size. Now, what is the item size? Each item is of size 4 bytes. That means what? Whenever we say int 32, 1 byte equal to 8 bits, it is equal to 32 bit. That means each item size is 4 bytes. Like this, we can study the array. Now, suppose if you want to create another array, simply what we do, let's take 2-dimensional array here, and how to access it. Simply take this code and paste it here and execute. Right? Since this is a 2-dimensional array, which consists of the data in the form of rows and columns, we should use nested for loop to access it. Yes, of course. That's correct. Okay. So that means what? It is 2-dimensional array. Now, suppose if we create 3-dimensional array. Suppose if we create 3-dimensional array, and how to access it? We need to use 3 nested loops. Yeah, multi also. Like this, it goes on. Now, let me give you one more important thing regarding this is we are creating the array, we are accessing using loop, right? Suppose you say two-dimensional matrix. It is nothing but rows and columns, right? So in order to access a particular value from that array, we can simply use indexing. We can simply use indexing. Now, suppose if you say this is what you want to examine. That means you want to know what is the value in this case. Now here, if you observe, okay, before moving on to that, I just want to print what is B here. Let's try to understand this. What is B? Now this is the array. This is three-dimensional array in which one dimension consists of two arrays. Each of the array is two-dimensional again, right? Now, if we try to print this now, what happens? 0 means it will go to first element in which it is an array. In that we are going to the second row. Now this is the row in which we want to access the first element. Now this is the element. Is this clear? I hope you understood how we are accessing the array. Using indexing, we need to access. 0 index says what? Array index generally starts with 0, right? So first index holds this array now. In that array, first index holds the second row. In that second row, we are accessing first index. Yes, we can also use that. Contain one row and one column. See, it's not one column actually. You just see here, this is multiple columns. Yes or no? One row and multiple columns. Got it? I hope you are clear. I explained you about what is NumPy and what are the different operations we can do using NumPy and how to use Jupyter Notebook. And you can go through this document step by step. It is self-explanatory. Simply take the code of it, okay, and go to the Jupyter, create a file and start executing each and everything. Is it clear, everyone? Any doubts? In the same way, we can also take pandas. Now, what is basically pandas is? Popular, it is a open source data manipulation and analysis library for Python. Okay, so analysis means we need some data, yes or no? Now, it provides us easy to use of data structures and functions needed to work with structured data. Now, what is that structured data can be? Like spreadsheets or SQL tables or time series data. Okay, the primary data structures in pandas are data frame or SQL table. Is this clear? So data frame is nothing but the data which is represented in rows and columns. Now, if we observe here, this is generally called as a dictionary in Python. This is generally called as a dictionary in Python. Now, in order to analyze this, we want the data to be, okay, structured in the form of a rows and columns like matrix. Now, if we use pandas, we can create a data frame which will convert this dictionary into a table format. Which will convert this dictionary into a table format. Let me show you quickly how do we do this. In Jupyter only, simply I'm using import and I want this data to be converted into a data frame and I'm printing data frame. Sorry, here we didn't close it. Now let's execute. Got it now? This is a tabular format, yes or no? It is looking like an Excel spreadsheet. Now we can start analyzing this data. Now PD is called as alias name of pandas. Wherever we want to use pandas library, instead of using pandas keyword over there, we can use its another name. We can generally call it as an alias name called as PD. Like we used NP for NumPy. Is it clear, Vaishali? Yeah. Suppose we have some data like a CSV format, you have some Excel sheet. How to do this? Simply what we do is, okay, we need to upload the document into our folder. Let me show you quickly what is the file that is uploaded. Now, if you see here, employee retention rate.csv, employee retention rate.csv is an Excel sheet. Okay. Now, how to upload this? Simply go here, okay, and upload, which will allow us to upload some document, which will allow us to upload some document. Now, let's take this one, open. Now, simply click on upload. Now, we got the data here. Okay. Now, how to use this? How to use this? Simply create a new blank sheet, or else you can go to the existing blank sheet, but make sure that the file what we create, that is the file which we use to execute the code, and also the Excel file what we uploaded should be the same folder. Make sure that the file which we use for writing the code and execute, and also execute the Excel file should be in the same folder. Okay. I hope it is clear. Now let me quickly import it. Now, how do we import? Again, we need to import pandas. Okay. Now I go here and simply import pandas, and as well as I need this file. Yes or no? Now I want to take the file name here, and I'll simply use the file name here and execute. Now, in order to see the data, what is there in this, simply give df. Now, this is the data now. How many rows we have? 10,000 rows followed by 8 columns. Okay. So, it can show initially 100 rows. Now, we'll start analyzing this data now. We'll start analyzing this data. How? See here. Head gives us first 5 rows and tail gives us last 5 rows. So on. Is it clear? And also we can access the specific value. Like this, one by one, if you go on taking this one and execute, you'll get the result over there. Is it clear? Very, very important, okay, thing that we do with respect to our data is describe. Describe. What is this describe? You'll understand now. See here. Whenever we use describe, in age column, how many we have and what is the mean of it, what is standard deviation, what is minimum, what is maximum, and how many are 20s? That is 20s are 25%, 21s are 50%, and 24 are 75%. Like this, we'll get some statistics. Like this, there are a couple of things which are defined in this. Okay, maximum, we defined everything. So please go through this document as a reference and start analyzing your data using pandas. Okay. I hope you understood about how to import a file and execute. And also you have matplotlib library, right? So let me give a quick overview of it also. Now see here, I'm taking matplotlib library file. See here. Now we want some scatter plot. Scatter plot generally plots it with some dots. Now we are giving the data from this. Okay. And we are plotting the data. Here we can change. Here we can change the properties of it. Okay. Suppose we want red color. simply change it as red and you'll get that in red color. Now you can change the data also here, whatever we have, in which X holds, that is X-axis holds this X value and Y-axis holds Y values. That is, this is an array. Clear? Any doubts? Whatever we discussed so far. If I'm going fast, please stop me there. As we need to cover a lot many topics. Okay, I may go a little bit fast. If I'm going, please stop me there. Did you understand how to use Matplotlib library? So if you want, you can change the inputs of it. Yeah. See this data. Yeah, you came to the correct point. You came to the correct point. Okay. That is what data will be stored there. We have performed our feature engineering. Yes or no? After performing that feature engineering sequence of steps, we finalize some collection of features, right? Now, after features confirmation or finalization, do we fill the data or not? Do we gather the data or not? That data generally stored in some formats of files. One of the format is CSV file. Now, in order to analyze that data which is there in CSV, do we need to import into our program or not? In order to import that, we generally use pandas library. Is this clear, everyone? Now, suppose you have manipulated that data, CSV file. Suppose you have manipulated this data. If you want to download, you can simply download. Last but not the least. Last but not the least is the file which is created. The file which is created in Jupyter has an extension called as IPYNB. The file which is created in Jupyter file is IPYNB, which is nothing but Python notebook. Okay. Did you all understand whatever we discussed so far? That's great. Let's continue where we stopped yesterday. Let me go back to the PPT. Someone is writing something on the screen which is creating the disturbance. Please don't do that. Okay. Now, yesterday we stopped discussing here, right? So after finalizing our features, we need to prepare the data. Yes or no? In order to prepare the data, we generally have some couple of sources. What are the sources are? One, you might gather the data from internet, or you might gather the data from some by communicating some people, or you can say some industry experts, or etc., or some you can collect the data from blogs, okay, or you can get the data from some other resources like some Excel sheets or etc., or from internet also. Okay, Vaishali, that is what we are discussing. Okay, be patient till we go to that stage. Okay. Now what we do here, we'll be taking these features, we'll start gathering the data now. That step is generally called as data collection. Okay. Data set preparation will has some sequence of steps here. In that first step is nothing but data collection. Now in data collection, we'll be collecting the data and putting in a file in the form of rows and columns. Now look at this. Now this is the data that I have gathered and filled as an example. Now age is 24, current job is data scientist, programming, coding. Interest is coding there, responsibilities, upskilling, qualification is BTech and so on. Okay. Did you get my point? Now this data is a sample data which I have entered, for our data preparation understanding. Okay. Now if we observe here, the age column is getting filled with some numbers, whereas current job is a string, skill set is string, interest is a string, so on. Now tell me, do any mathematical formula works on characters? That is very important to note. Before that, guys, listen, before that, it is very important to do one step, that is data cleaning. What is that called as? Data cleaning. Now, what is data cleaning is? Suppose we got this data that is filled by some other person or some other resource, we received this file. Do we have this file with some null values or not, or some other values which are missing or not? Did you get my point? Like this, we may get the data like this, right? Or we may get irrelevant data also. We may get record without any data also. Or simply to say, we may have complete record like this, except age column, everything is blank. Like this, we get the data, yes or no? That is where we generally call it as a raw data. Did you get my point? So that raw data has to be cleaned first. That cleaning is generally, we call it as data cleaning. Now, what is basically data cleaning is? It is, see here, it is a process of handling missing data or removing unnecessary data. Okay. Now, example is inputting the missing values in the data set of the customer feedback scores by using the mean or median values. Let me explain this point with the data what we have. For example, we have some records in this data set with age column as null. That means we have some records like this. Now, what we generally do is handling that missing data means we'll take the mean of this column. We'll take the mean of this column and we'll substitute in all these null columns. Did you get my point? That is also one of the cleaning phase, step in the cleaning phase. Cleaning is not like just removing the records. Cleaning is like handling the missing data. Handling the missing data. Did you understand my point? Based on our business use case, based on our requirement, we may substitute this data like with mean or median or any other value, or based on your requirement, you can substitute it with 0 also. It's up to us. Yes or no? Did you get my point? So along with that, see here, removing unnecessary rows for which maximum data is not found. Maximum data is not found. Generally, this phase is called as what? Data cleaning, and also called as pre-processing. Pre-processing. So let me open a file to show you how do we generally handle this. See here. We use pandas library to load this data, right? So what is nothing but data cleaning is? See here, we are simply filling a customer age column in the given data set where we have null values with customer age mean. Did you get my point? Like this, we undergo the cleaning process and make this raw data with meaningful information. All of you are clear? So after collecting the data from different sources, we generally call it as raw data. Now it has to be cleaned first to process to the next level. That cleaning has several phases. Okay. Now, what is the next phase is that data exploration. Now, what is basically data exploration means we need to study the data. Study the data means, see here, we have to study the data like this. What is the shape? What is the info of particular data? Like what is the data type of each columns? And is there any null values and its count and everything? And you want to describe that data and everything, basic statistics. Is it clear? And also data exploration includes this one. We want to display or we want to see only the data of price greater than 0. Or in other words, you can also do this. Now, if you observe carefully here, if suppose we have some products information, now tell me, do we consider the products information without any price? No, right? That means in the data, whatever we received, we simply take the data where price is greater than 0 only. This also comes under data cleaning. Okay, because we need to get the accurate data. Okay, along with that, we undergo data structuring. Now, before going to this data structuring, we have one more phase now. What is that? Let's see the here. Okay. Now let's consider we have taken some data, some randomized data over there, and we performed cleaning also. And this is our final data. Okay. Now, as I asked you earlier, mathematical calculations cannot be done using characters or you can say strings, right? So to have numerical values, we explore this data in such a way that we'll take how many current jobs we have. How many current job we have means we'll take the distinct values in this column. Now, if we see this distinct columns, tell me how many are there? Distinct values in that column? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 only, right? Distinct values I'm talking about. Santosh, Lakshmi. Distinct values only 5, right? Now, as I said you earlier, we'll be doing encoding. Clear? Now see here, we'll be doing the transformation. Encoding is one part of this transformation. Okay. Now, if you observe age column, the distinct values we have in range between, okay, 18 to 25. For example, we have a range between 18 to 25. Okay, we consider age as 18 to 25. And since we have current job unique as 5 only, yes or no? Will it range from 1 to 5 or not? That means we represent current job, okay, one with what? Data scientist. 2 with what? Software engineer. 3 with software programmer. 4 with financial analyst. 5 with accountant. Now, wherever we have data scientist, that will simply replace with 1. All of you are clear? Any doubts? In the same way, we'll explore the data in skill set column. in skill set column, where we assumed that skill sets we have 5. So what we have taken 1 to 5. Did you get my point? Like this, interest we are considering it as 1 to 10, and responsibilities as 1 to 5, and qualifications that we received in the data are 1 to 5. That means we received only 5 columns. Sorry, 5 qualifications. Will it get collapsed? I didn't understand the question, Maria. Collapsed in the sense? After exploring the data only, we are finalizing. These are only the current jobs we received from the from the data. Yes or no? For that, we are giving some numbering. No problem at all. Is this feature different from this one or not? Is this column different from another column or not? Yes, right? So it is very clear. Current job holds 1 to 5. 1 indicates in current job column is what? Data scientist. Whereas 1 in skill set indicates programming, so on. Like this, we'll encode the data now. This is generally called as encoding. We already know it. Any doubts so far, whatever we discussed? Now, we have performed data collection, data cleaning, data exploration, data transformation also. Now, can we say our data is ready now with the numerical values? Any doubts so far? Because the next step is very important to concentrate. Right. Now, what is the next last thing is what? Feature extraction. Feature extraction, what it says is creating new features and populating the data now. Now, if you observe here, career success is our output column. Yes or no? And also class is also our output column. Now, how to get these values? Based on the data what we received, how to get this value? How to get this value? There is some process to do this. Now, this is very crucial step. Please concentrate, guys. Now, how do we do this is, how do we do this? This is very important. Creating new features, that is career success and class. Now, in this, we are assuming that age is in between 18 to 25, current job is 1 to 5, skill set is 1 to 5, interest is 1 to 10, and responsibility is 1 to 5, qualification 1 to 5. Got it? Now, this is the basic information which we have now. Now, how to get these values? Observe this carefully. Now, we'll be defining the weights of each column. What we define? We'll define the weight of each column. Is this clear? How we define the weights now? We should take this column. This is all depends on our study. Okay, now see here. We should take this column and we should identify how this column, how much percentage this column impact the output. How much this column impact the output. Or in other words, in all these columns, which has high priority, later next priority, so on up to. Did you get the point? If you consider in such a way, any individual will have some criteria. Yes or no? Now we'll take this current job and we'll identify or we'll analyze such a way that how much this impacts to the what? Output. Now, if you consider this age, it is impacting 20%. So we need to consider 0.2%. And this is 0.1%. And this is 0.2, means it impacts 20%. Now it impacts one, that is 10%. Responsibilities 20%. Qualification 1%. Now this is defined, okay, based on my analysis, my understanding about the data. That can be changed based on your analysis. Now, for example, if you want to give skill set as 30%, then what you should do, you should reduce this somewhere. Why we need to do like this? When we add all these, you should get equal to 1. This is very important to note. Did you get my point? We should identify individual column, how it impacts the output, how much percentage it impacts the output. Based on that, we should note down in the form of decimal value. We should not take 20% or 30% like that. If it is 20%, we should take it as 0.2. So on up to we have to define the weights. So on up to we have to define the weights. Now, if we add up all these weights, it should become 1. It should become 1. We have to make a note of it. Yes, of course. Ranjan, that is what I'm trying to say. Some people may take, okay, current job as high priority. They may take current job as 0.3. But in my case, I'm considering skill set is very important for career success. For that, I have taken 0.3. Did you get my point? It is what? It is completely on us how we generally analyze and gives that importance. Did you get the point, Ranjan? So now what we do is, we'll populate this column. We'll populate this column by taking these values. Did you get the point? Now, if you consider this one, 0.2 into 24, 0.2 into 24, 0.2. I'll tell you what is this, okay? I'll tell you what is this threshold and everything. Please keep that aside for some time being. Yes, of course. Prediction is nothing but what? Based on assumption of the data. Yes or no? Or based on the data gathered. Right? So, after analyzing the data, we'll predict it, right? After exploring the data, we predict it. So, everyone has their own perception of understanding the data. As I said you earlier, I have considered skill set as high priority for me, which directly impacts my career success in 30%. So what is happening now? I have taken it as 0.3. Whereas age, I consider it as 20% becomes 0.2. Got it now? Now, like this, we define the weights of it. Now, if we add all these weights, it should become 1. Till now, it is clear? Everyone? Now, we'll populate this career success column as that weight into the value. The weight into the value. The weight into the value. Now, let me give you one row data of career success is 24 into 0.2 plus 3 into 0.1 plus 1 into 0.3 plus 3 into 0.1 plus 3 into 0.1 plus 2 into 0.1. Now, if you calculate this value, you will get some value, right? So I'll take a Python idle screen to calculate this data, to calculate this value. Now, if you put in, this is 6.2, right? Now the career success is the value with 6.2. Did you understand how did we calculated this? Right. Like this, we'll populate this data now. Now, how to get this class? How to get this class value? Now, for that, we'll generally take a cutoff of this career success. We'll take a cutoff of this career success. It is also based on our analysis and understanding only. That is, what I'm considering is, if this value is greater than 7, if this value is greater than 7, I'm considering it as 1, means that person will have a good career. If it is less than 7, we consider it as 0. Is it clear, everyone? That is generally called as a cutoff. Now, what we do here is, we'll calculate a threshold value now. If that threshold value, or in other words, if the career success is greater than threshold value, okay, why shall I listen carefully again? We'll calculate threshold value. If this career success is greater than threshold value, we'll give it as 1, which indicates that particular, you say, individual is going to get succeed in his career. If the value of the career success is less than the threshold value, we'll give it as 0. That means this is called categorical output. So we'll be getting either ones or zeros. Is this clear? Did you understand now? Any doubts? Yes, threshold choice, this cutoff choice is ours. You can put it as 0.6 also. 60% above will succeed in their career. If not, they will not succeed. Simple. Did you understand, Ranjan? Like this, we go on populating the data. Okay. Now tell me, like this, if we go on calculating these values and getting this career success and class, how many records maximum that we can put? Tell me approximately with our hands. 10, 20, 30. Or if you have patience, you can put it as some 50 or 100. Yes or no? If you have patience enough and time enough, okay, you'll go on filling it. Yes or no? Instead of that, we can generate this data by using Python code. How I'm generating? Please see the following code I'm explaining you now. I have considered these weights. Okay, we have considered these weights and we have calculated the threshold value And see here, there is a module called as random, which will generate random numbers. Now in this, if we observe, we are trying to generate how many records? Tell me guys, how many records we are trying to generate? 10,000 records. Okay. You can generate 1 lakh or 10 lakhs records also. Within fraction of seconds, it will generate now. For that, we have to give our inputs. What are the inputs are? Here, X1 indicates age. Age limit, tell me here. Is it defined as 18 to 25 or not? Yes or no? Age is having a limit of 18 to 25, right? Now, if you observe here, we are generating a random number from 18 to 25. Can we consider X1 as age? Yes. Now, like this, X1 indicates current job. X3 indicates what? Skill set. Like this, it goes on. Do we have 6 columns or not? So we have random numbers for all the 6 columns, and we got career success value, and we have calculated already a threshold value here. If this received or calculated career success value is greater than threshold, we are putting class as what? 1, otherwise 0. Now this will generate 10,000 records and that will be placed inside a list. Inside a list. Now we got 10,000 records. Now we have to put it in where? Into a file. Yes or no? We have to put it in a file. In order to put it in that a file or prepare a file, we generally create a data frame. Now, if we observe here, data frame is prepared with what? The values what we generated and with the column names as we need. Now, what happens now? A data frame will be generated with all these 10,000 records with the columns age, current job, skill set, interest, responsibilities, and so on. Is it clear, everyone? Now let me execute this code and give you clarity. For that, I'm going to pandas again. That is Jupyter Notebook. So now let me take a folder here. Or else what we do is we'll create a folder. We'll create a folder. So in order to create a folder, we can use new folder here. Now, if you can see here, untitled folder, we can rename it. Let's take a workshop. Is our folder now. Now let us open this workshop folder. Let me create a new Jupyter Notebook file. Now, if you consider this folder, it is empty. Clear? Now we have created a file. That file is created here. That is Jupyter Notebook file. Now I have taken this code now. Now what is the file name given? Career_success.csv. Now, if we execute this code, what happens? It will generate 10,000 records and it will create a data frame and dump into this file. Let's execute this code. There is a syntax error. What is that? So since we have copy pasted from the PowerPoint slide, it is showing some errors regarding indentation. So we need to correct that. Same here also. I think this is also the same. Here is also the same. Now values. Also you have some issue here. Now here basically single quotation marks is not correct. Now let's go ahead. Now here we used some text to, like cut off. I have written that to make you to explain it. Now see here, this code is executed successfully. How we can confirm it? Go to this folder. There is a file created. Now how many records we have? If you scroll down, you can see there are around 10,000 records. There are around how many records generated? 10,000 records. Did you understand, guys, everyone? Balaji, did you understand? Everyone? Like this, we'll go into the different phases, okay, and prepare the data before making our machine learning algorithm learn the data. Is this clear? Finally, we'll use this code to generate this data now. Yeah, of course, we'll share. No worries, Ranjan. I hope you have understood whatever the topics that we discussed today. Now we'll share the content. Please go through that. Okay, and we'll get back to you in the next session. Hope we had a great session today. Have a great day. Sure, Maria, we'll share the recorded session.
Hello. Hello.
Mm. थोड़ा सा चेक हो रहा है।
Hello, Sai sir. Hello.
Hello. Hello. Hello.